How to be patriotic Nigerian. Patriotism runs deeper than flag lapels and bumper stickers. If you want to learn what patriotism means and how to develop your own sense of patriotism for your country Nigeria, you can learn how to get more involved. Part 1: Understanding Patriotism. Learn the difference between patriotism and nationalism. Nationalism refers to a blind belief that one's nation or cultural heritage is superior to others, while patriotism refers to a feeling of admiration for a particular belief or way of life. The two terms are often used interchangeably, and it's important to distinguish patriotism for what it is. Nationalism is often marked by us versus them rhetoric and behavior. Nationalists believe that people who don't believe in the superiority of a nation or culture are somehow lesser. A patriotic attitude is marked by an understanding of a nation's history, accomplishments, and positive contributions to culture. Patriotism also recognizes a nation's failures and negative influence. 2a. Understand how patriotism is used. Patriotism is one of the most common beliefs manipulated in propaganda. Patriotic values and rhetoric is commonly subverted by those who try to manipulate certain beliefs or behaviors. The word patriot and patriotism is often used as a bludgeon to question someone's commitment and love for their country in a way that's actually more akin to nationalism. A patriotic person may be moved by an appeal to their love of their country. However, alert citizens should be aware of the intentions of the messages they hear and the potential impact of the actions they seek to accomplish. How patriotic you are is not determined by how well you conform to what messages propaganda circulates as truth. Patriots can love their country without blindly following the popular majority. 2b. Learn about where you live. Discover the history of your nation and how it grew to be what it is today. Find facts that surprise you, challenge you, make you laugh or make you proud. Try finding more about your country's past leaders, flag, national animal, famous landmarks, gastronomy, traditions, films, literature. Learn everything and anything unique to your nation. Read books and articles by authors writing today. Stay as up to date as possible about what it means to be a member of the country where you live. 2c. Learn about your cultural and natural history as well. The land that you stand on existed long before a government was there to name it. Greece, for example, became its own country by declaring independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1821, although Greek culture is ancient. A patriotic Greek person may have a fairly complicated interpretation of what it means to be Greek, and nuanced opinions about culture and government, entirely separately. What people were native to the lands that are now your country? What grows there? What animals call it home? Learn everything you can about the place you call home. 2d. Understand the history of other countries as well. Just as it's important to get a good sense of the land you call home, it's important to get a good sense of the land your neighbors call home as well. Learn your country's place in the world. Learn about the beliefs others have about their own countries. What does it mean to be patriotic in European countries? In the Americas? In Africa? National identities and attitudes are as varied as the countries they're found in. Part 2: Being patriotic. 2a. Stay informed. Learning the history of your country is helpful, but it's also important to stay up to date on what your country is doing in the here and now. Your nation may be quite old, with a rich history, as in the case of Japan or France, Igboland, or relatively new, with a fresh sense of self, as in the case of the United States. Find causes you believe in. What issues affect your country today? What are the most important problems facing your nation? Learn about your country's foreign policy. How does your country relate to the world? What role does your country play in its region? 2b. Keep your government honest as far as is possible. Who is making the decisions in your country? Do you agree or disagree with the direction in which your country is headed? If you feel patriotic about your country, make it your goal to get involved and understand what's going on. No nation is free of faults. The United States, for examples, has a history of prejudice and racism, which still influences its culture today. Knowing this, researching this, and understanding this doesn't make you less patriotic. Know your country's past and be watchful of your government today to prevent future atrocities and abuses of power. 2C. Participate in local government. If you care about the place you live, get involved on the local level. Vote locally if you participate in a direct or representative democracy system, or otherwise find a way to let your voice be heard. Talk to your town leaders or elders, and find out who makes the decisions around you. This doesn't have to be a big deal. If you feel patriotic, just talking to your neighbors and looking out for people can be a sign of this. Influence the way things go down in your neighborhood. Make it a safe place you're proud to call home. That's patriotism. 2D. Look at issues from both sides. Increasingly, it can be difficult to find